The behavior change that I attempted to change was to exercise or work out every day for around 30 minutes a day. My goal was to gradually work my way up to 30 minutes a day by starting off with 10 for the first week, then 15 the next week, and so on. That was the goal that I set for my behavior change, and let's just say that didn't go as planned. I chose this behavior change because I currently live a sedentary lifestyle where I get little to no exercise, which can be very unhealthy. All my tracking for my behavior change was with the Nike Training Club mobile app. This app allows new exercisers to start off with easy or beginner exercises that include no equipment so you can do them whenever. Right away with my behavior change, I found out I had some barriers, like I didn't have time to get in an exercise because of schoolwork, and I also lacked to have motivation at times because after a day with classes, tests, and homework, I just wanted to relax and not cause any stress to myself. However, in the first week of my behavior change, I got to exercise for 4 days by focusing on different areas of my body. Throughout the 6 weeks, you will tend to see repeated exercises because they were the ones with no equipment where I could do them wherever I wanted to. After the first week, I have exercised for a total of 66 minutes and 4 seconds. I did not count all the times that I walked from class to class or from my room to class because I don't count that as exercise, even though I get around 45 minutes to an hour worth of that. The second week is where everything started to fly out of control with staying on top of everything. As you can see, I only got to perform 2 days worth of exercise where I got a total of 22 minutes and 43 seconds. The reason I only have 2 days worth of exercising is because of how busy I was, but mostly because I started to have pain in my knees, and if I did too much exercising, I would start to feel a slight pain. I believe that I'm having this pain because I never got much physical activity and it was like training my knees all over again, and it was too much to do. Because of this, you will see similar weeks where I only do 2 exercises in a week. The third week is very similar to week 2, where I only got 2 days worth of exercise. The total exercise time for that week was only 17 minutes and 19 seconds. As you can see with the workout that I did on March 7th, I only did 5 minutes and 54 seconds, and that is because of the pain in my knee and it started to hurt, so I stopped so I didn't damage it badly. The fourth week is also very similar to weeks 2 and 3, but I was able to finish all the exercises that I started. The total workout time for week 4 was 23 minutes and 3 seconds. For week 5, I was only able to exercise for 1 day, but I was able to spend more time on that day, and I got 2 different exercises in. The total time for week 5 was 22 minutes and 37 seconds. The last week of the behavior change, I was able to exercise for 2 days, and on March 25th, I was able to get in 2 different exercises. So I exercised for a total of 36 minutes and 9 seconds for week 6. Overall, from the behavior change, I believe that I set an unrealistic goal for myself, and I got overwhelmed, and I just needed days to relax or needed more time to focus on schoolwork. The theory that corresponds to my experience with the behavior change project is the self-determination theory, SDT, researched by Edward Deci and Richard Ryan. SDT is based on the idea of the quality or type of motivation and if the individual will engage in a particular behavior. This theory focuses on 3 types of motivation: extrinsic, intrinsic, and amotivation. Extrinsic motivation is being motivated to exercise to achieve an outcome. Intrinsic motivation is being motivated to exercise because the activity is fun or making you feel happy. Amotivation is when an individual is not motivated and has no intention of being motivated to engage in exercise. There are 4 types of extrinsic motivation in SDT, and they are external regulation, introjected regulation, identified regulation, and integrated regulation. External regulation is performing a behavior in order to obtain a reward or avoid a punishment by someone else. Introjected regulation is when exercise is performed to avoid guilt or anxiety or to feel better about the appearance of the body. Identified regulation is when exercise is motivated by personally meaningful goals and because persons value exercise. And integrated regulation is exercise because of one's values and goals. There's only one type of intrinsic motivation, which is intrinsic regulation, and that is driven solely by the interest and enjoyment. For me, I would say that I'm part extrinsic motivation and amotivation. I would say that I'm extrinsic motivation because of the introjected regulation where I want to feel better about my appearance of my body. But I would also say that I'm amotivation because sometimes I did not have any motivation to perform physical activity but that was only for a short period of time, like 1 to 3 days. With my current career interest of being a basketball coach, I would say that this behavior change project has put me in the right direction of where I need to be. Even though I underperformed on this project, it is a start to becoming more physically active. I want my future players and coaches to know that I'm physically active so I'm able to move around with them and not look like someone who just stands and talks the entire time.